And we're back with another edition of DB2 Bets, brought to you by BetStamp, where we use the BetStamp app to find the best odds available across all different sports books, and by Yup Beer. Visit yupbeer.com to find a location near you. What is going on? It is your host, Josh Elijah. Been a minute since we've dropped another episode of DB2 Bets. Took a bit of time off in September. A lot of traveling around, a lot of cottaging. We had a bit of bachelor party action, a bit of wedding action. Went down to the States a couple times, checked out Daytona Beach, was down in Detroit, and topped it all off with a bit of COVID. So here we are in October now, and we're preparing for the beginning of the NHL season, and couldn't do it without the homeboy, Jesse McKay, aka Birdman. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Happy to be back.
Happy to be back. We just dropped our latest episode of the long form podcast with former Jays manager John Gibbons as well, right in time for baseball playoffs. But when it comes to bets, we're very excited to be starting the new NHL season, new NBA season, football well underway as well. So that obviously is going to be opening up a lot more opportunities for us when it comes to these segments and talking about DB2 bets. So we're going to jump right into it. But first, I got to welcome the homeboy onto the show, Jesse Joosten.
Hey guys, what's going on?
J Money, baby. How you doing? Joosten.
Oh, just living the dream, just losing that fantasy football and winning that hockey soon.
That's
Same,
right,
bro.
Oh man, that's this week is a week full of fantasy drafts. We got back-to-back drafts coming up this week as well. Your teams, you were talking about me. Who did you end up going with for your first pick?
For my first pick?
Yeah.
Wait, what are we talking here? Are we talking hockey or are we talking football?
Talking hockey.
Talking hockey. My first pick, I'm gonna have to go with Ottawa with the over.
Ottawa with the over. Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. No. I was talking about your fantasy pick. I was talking about fantasy.
Oh, my first pick.
Did
fantasy,
you do your draft already?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he did his back in like August. Like
No way.
When you have
been
kids,
ready for
you gotta. We do a live draft every year, and loser has to go golfing in a dress, and it's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
It was the only date that we could do was way back in August, so people weren't even signed. Like it was a rough one. And we went golfing first, so don't go golfing first. Annihilated drafting is not the best either. So
I mean,
isn't that kind of how it goes every draft regularly though? Like
pretty much. But yeah, I was looking
you're...
at the choices, and I would have done things a little differently. But I'm gonna live with them, and it's all good.
Well, what are your choices? What did you end up going with?
I got Kirill. Yeah, he was my first pick. I was seventh, so it was. I don't know. I wasn't ready for it because I didn't get any of the main four. So
yeah, exactly.
And then for some reason I let Makar go a little too late.
Yeah, you're telling me about that. So who did you end up going second then?
Second, I can't even remember. That's how bad it was, and that's how long ago it was.
that's when things start to get a little bit hazy after the first round. You
just gave up after that one.
Yeah. So early.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I'm pumped for fantasy. I'm pumped to get back in the groove of it because it's been a long year of fantasy baseball, and I'm honestly, it's been a grind. I'm in the finals for that right now, but I'm over it. I am over it. I'm ready for playoff baseball to hit Toronto. The Blue Jays obviously just securing home field advantage for their 3-game series against either Seattle or Tampa. I guess we'll be finding that out in the next couple of days. But yeah, that's we're ready to switch gears here and jump into hockey, and we like to start each year off with a bit of a special of the way that we're going to be doing DB2 bets. Bird, why don't you shed a little bit of light on what we did last year and what we're actually switching up for NHL special this year?
So last year I came up with the idea of just finding like a rough win total for each team, and we went through every team. It was a little bit of a long segment, but by the time we were like nearing the end, we were like, "Holy shit! Okay, let's wrap this up."
let's wrap this up, and then it's time for the interview. Yeah,
also like 100 yups deep. But basically, the idea last year was to toss $2 on each team, and we just bet on the over or under for the win totals. But now this is a real podcast with real sponsors, and now we're doing it the real way. So we're doing point totals this time because you can't really bet on win totals because of overtime losses and how you get a point for that. So what we've done is we just grab the point totals, divide them by 2. That gives you a rough estimate of win totals. And all you have to do is compare points and win totals from last year, kind of get an idea of where each team is sitting, and cross-reference who they picked up and who they've traded. And I think we agreed on $10 per team, right? We're each gonna pick a team from each division, and we're gonna roll with that.
And that's going to be it. Yeah, we figured that we might as well, let's dial it back to 1 pick per division. We're actually going to be rolling with the Score Bet app. That's where we were actually able to find some of the better odds across all the different sports books. We were able, like, for the most part, they're about the same. They fluctuate a little bit, but when it comes to the point total, they're pretty much the same across the board. So we decided to go with the Score Bet. They got a great app. So make sure that you go and check out betstamp.app/onboarding and use promo code DB2, obviously, to be able to access the Score Bet if you want to be able to set up a new account. And then from there, you can take advantage of all their sweet sign-up bonuses that they have to offer. But that's the name of the game. That's what we're doing. We're going to be looking at the point totals for a bunch of different teams across the different divisions, and we bet over or under. $10 a piece. I may do more, I may do less. Some of them I might like. There's a couple here that look a little hairy that I'm not very confident with, but I'm gonna roll with anyways. But yeah, $10 is where we're gonna be putting our money down, just for a fun little teaser throughout the NHL season as well, and something that we're able to monitor. First and foremost, I mean, like, what do you guys think of the actual scoring, like when it comes to the NHL? Because I can't stand this point total stuff anyways. Like, I wish it was just over or unders when it comes to win totals.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the wins, losses, just keep it fucking just straight and narrow, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, but it is what it is. We're gonna have to roll with it. And I mean, I just wish it was a little bit more cut and dry when it comes to win totals, but here we are. We're going to be rolling with the points for each of these teams, and we're going to kick things off over in the Atlantic. Jesse, why don't you tell us about your Ottawa Senators and kick it off for us as well?
Ooh, I never thought I'd say this. Never thought I'd say this, but you know what? Ottawa has been making some moves.
They have.
With the addition of the cat, the DeBrincat. I love it.
That's huge.
I think that's a huge signing. That even bigger signing of Stützle. Is that how you say his name?
Stützle. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got the bag.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He got a ticket.
Yeah. That guy. I think he's young. He's got a lot of fucking skill. And he's got Drew beside him, like a clear classic vet now.
Yeah.
That knows how to play the game, knows how to teach a young buck what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going the over with Ottawa on this one. A big thing that I'm a little bit worried about is can they hold off till Talbot is healthy?
I just saw that.
That was it's 5 to 7 weeks, but you know what? I'm still taking the over on it. And they showed a bunch of dead weight too. I think they made some smart moves in the offseason, so that's why I'm going with Ottawa. And I hate my life for saying that.
I mean, hey, they are looking all right. If we just take a look at last year's point total, they finished off the campaign with 73 points, and then so now they're slated at 85.5, which is what the Vegas odds are giving us. So that's roughly about 42 wins is what they're saying. The odds are tipping a little bit in the over's favor on that at -125, and you can find that on Sportsbet. On the Score Bet as well. So I think honestly,
Vegas is really high on that forward group, and I think they're expecting a breakout season from Stützle. So, and for all you fantasy nerds, that's a good sleeper pick.
Oh yeah,
You heard it here first.
Absolutely.
If he's not gone in your league fucking needs to smarten up.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was one that we were actually chatting about before. We were talking about potentially touching it. So I like it too. I'm definitely gonna throw down on that as well. So we're gonna do the Senators over 85.5 points for the season, minus 125 are the odds, and that's available on ScoreBet. Bird,
Yo,
talk to me about your hate on for the Panthers.
Okay, dude. I don't hate them.
I know.
I don't hate them.
You got to take over or under?
Yeah. So, I'm taking the under. Or is that what I picked? I don't even remember. I think I took the under. Yeah.
Yep. You got the under.
So here's the thing. They went all in last year. They gave up a ton of picks to grab all these guys on expiring deals, and they're all gone now. And they got absolutely embarrassed in the second round by a real team with experience. And I just don't think the addition of Matthew Tkachuk is enough to replace all the talent that went out the door. You lose Giroux. He's a grizzled vet, as you say. And Huberdeau, I mean, that guy was second in scoring. I think he got some MVP votes. You lose Uyghur, Sherratt, those are like top pairing defensemen. Mason Marchment, that's another guy who's just like sneaky, puts up 50, 60 points. I don't know, man. Like, can Bobrovsky replicate his performance last year? We already know that he's pretty off and on, it seems. I don't know. I'm just not as high on them as they were performing last year, right? So they're slated for 105 points, and roughly 52 wins. I think they personally take a step back. So I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you're saying there. I think Bobrovsky might be overshadowed by Knight by the end of the season. He's up and coming, and Bobrovsky's on the way out. So we'll see who gets the starts later on. So
depending on what their record's looking like,
yeah. I think Bobrovsky's still signed for like 3-4 more years at that stupid ticket. It's like 10 mil. So I don't think he's on his way out technically
quite yet.
No, not.
But I know what you're saying. Knight is definitely he's a bright spot for them for sure.
I mean, Vegas is really dialing it back with them too. I mean, they did have a pretty incredible season last year, putting up 122 points, but to dial it back to 105 and still go with the under, where you're slating them to have in and around 52 wins. But I agree. So why not go with the under on that? I definitely agree. And those odds are listed at minus 125 as well on ScoreBet.
I also just think this division got way better, and you're going to have a lot of wins stolen from you at the end of the day.
Yeah, fair enough. I do like this under. I support it. It's bold. I
know what that means.
It's bold. I mean, like for the Panthers, I mean, sure, they really shit the bed last year in the playoffs against Tampa, but hey, that's Tampa, and did they really like lose a lot when it came to giving up Huberdeau and Uyghur as well? And I mean, like, Tkachuk is amazing. How do you find Tkachuk fitting in with what they do have still around? Like, Tkachuk and Barkov are going to be great together.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know, man. Like, Tkachuk obviously had an amazing performance last year with Gaudreau, but I don't know. Is Barkov really like the setup guy that Huberdeau was, right? Like, I don't know how that's going to mesh together. Like, I think Tkachuk brings some grit for sure, and that's probably what they could have used in the playoffs. But I don't think you replace that scoring that left, and your top pairing defense is out the window as well. So I'm not
Gudas,
sure
what are you talking about? He's gonna what's the over for Gudas getting 500 hits?
Dude,
the guy's an animal.
Fantasy stud if you've got hits on your league.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Goudas. So spank that under, then spank the under with the Florida Panthers under
You guys don't have to follow,
105.5.
I'll follow with that one. I'm on the bandwagon,
buddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be throwing down on most of these here because I do like a lot of them. Especially my next one. Where for the Atlantic Division, I'm gonna be taking our Toronto Maple Leafs. We're going to take them on the over. 107.5 is the point total. That's estimated in around 53 wins. Last year, 115 was the point total. Guys, I'm kind of pumped for the pairing for Murray and Samsonov. I think our idea, our choice to not pick Campbell again this year. You know what? It sucks, but like he is getting a little bit older. I think it was for what he was asking for. It was, maybe the right decision to let him walk. I like Samsonov a lot. I think Murray's got a huge opportunity for a bounce back year as well. And we also gave up Mikheyev as well. But man, I'm liking us. And Bird, I know you're pretty high on the Leafs as well.
Yeah, I mean, they got better in some ways and worse in other ways, but I'm definitely higher on this goaltending duo. I like
than Campbell and Mrazek.
When you look at Campbell and Mrazek, those guys are just so injury prone, and that's exactly what happened. Like they got both of them to split the crease, right? Mrazek goes down, and then Campbell has to play like 80% of the games, and he's obviously not at 100% because he's just playing all the time. And it just didn't work out the way I think they had envisioned. But you get a guy like Murray who's just going to be hungry to prove himself, and a guy like Samsonov who's a young guy. He's had pretty decent numbers so far, and he's going to be looking to have the starting role as well. And I just think that healthy competition is really good.
Absolutely.
And then you just pick up some depth pieces for peanuts, and I mean, you're basically rolling it back. And I loved the team last year. It's just an unfortunate. It's just the way it goes, man. It's the playoffs. Like I wasn't upset with that series at all. Like
with the outcome,
yeah. I mean, like I was upset they lost for sure, but just the way they lost, I wasn't like years past.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Even when you look at Vegas odds right now for just whoever like outright winner for the Stanley Cup, we're just behind Colorado. So obviously Vegas high on the Leafs again this year.
Good bet to win the division, and if you can find a good price for a President's Trophy, I would take a shot at it.
Hey, yeah, look that up. Find that out on BetStamp as well, because they highlight a lot of the futures that are available in the future section as well. So, hammering the over. Jesse, do I get a thumbs up from you on the point total there? Yeah, thumbs up. Thumbs up. I'm stoked for this year. It's going to be good, and I think hammering that over. I think that's the play right over there.
How do you guys feel about the experiment that we're going to be doing soon with Mitch Marner? Maybe
taking some cues from the Raptors, maybe.
I don't know what's going on there. I hated it when they first said it, but now I'm just thinking about it. He's floating anyways, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be out and about. I don't know how long this experiment's going to last, but to see
like,
him they're going to is going to be an interesting play, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, like they'll mix it in situationally. It's not going to be like that's not the way that they're going to run it all the time, but it will be interesting. It will be interesting.
Definitely interesting.
I'm here for it. I wanna but when it comes to the actual pick, we're gonna go with the over. The odds on that are -120, and that is available again on ScoreBet. Moving along, we're hitting up the Metro Division. Jesse, this is where the Penguins we're going to start to see them fall off a little bit more here.
See, this is mainly my gut.
I think we were saying this last year too, but yeah, go ahead.
It's true. Everyone's doubting the Penguins, and then they still keep fighting back. But I'm going with the under on the Penguins here. I don't know if Jeff Petrie is going to be Petri, or I don't know, whatever those French people call him. I don't know if he's going to be like the addition that they need. I know he had a rough season last season, but he should be playing a lot better with Crosby holding them up. But they're just so injury prone. That's the problem, is that we're all getting older, guys, including ourselves. Crosby's not a young buck anymore. Malkin's
a lot of miles on those bodies.
So it's going to be, health will be a factor for sure. The only upside is I still see Jari being one of the top, one of the solids goaltenders. Even going through fantasy this year, it was hard to find goalies that you are reliable.
Yeah,
he was one of them. So
yeah, definitely a big pickup for me that I had last year was Jari, and yeah, you're absolutely right. This kind of reminds me a little bit of one of your next picks. Maybe we'll touch on that when we get there. But yeah, the Penguins. This could be it. I mean, like Crosby says that he has another 5 years left in him,
and he probably does. It's
probably
just the walls are crumbling around him.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Gensel, he's he's
a Band-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. Same with Malkin. Rust has some issues as well. So all the core is just starting to crumble.
Yeah. So we're doing the under on that. So that's placed at 101.5 right now, minus 115 odds, and that is compared to last year. Last year the Penguins finished with 103 for the points. So just a couple ticks underneath that, and we're thinking the under. We're gonna go with the under on that minus 115, and that is estimated around 50 wins for the season. Perfect. Moving on to Bird. What do you got here for the Metro?
I chose the Devils, and the reason I chose the Devils is because they're projected for 88.5 points.
Yeah,
which I think is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Josh, what did they finish with last year?
63. I mean, that is
next. Your turn. No, but seriously though, like,
well, how do you come up with 88? That's
what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I mean, they picked up Andre Palat and Eric Holla, which is cool.
Sure.
That's cool. They got some some goal scoring. I feel like that's something that they just don't do, period. I mean, I guess they're banking on the growth of Jack Hughes and co, but I don't know. Jumping by 20 points is 20. How much?
25.
25 points? Like, dude, come on. Somebody at Vegas was smoking that loud pack when they wrote that. That is just ridiculous.
Man. Yeah, I don't know where they came up with that number. Slated for about 44 wins, but still, I mean, like that's a lot. Their goaltenders.
They got some pieces, but
who do they pick up again? Because I know they have Blackwood, and then who else?
Oh, Vanacek. They grabbed
Vita Vanacek.
Yeah. But still it's not enough, in my opinion. But hey,
not for a 25-point swing. So
ride it with me, boys.
Well, even it seems like they're tipping on the side of over for 88.5 because the return is looking at minus 105. So that's as close to even as you're going to get. So that would probably mean that the over is going to be minus 125. So even tipping over in that on that end. So yeah, Devils on the under 88.5 points. The odds are minus 105. And again, available on ScoreBet. I'm going Blue Jackets. Let's go BJs. Going the Blue Jackets simply because of Johnny Hockey. We're going with Gaudreau. I mean, like we were talking about, like him with Liney could be a lot of fun. I mean, they're not going to do anything crazy. We're going to see how well Gaudreau is going to make this squad. Last year they put up 81, and then now they have them slated at 79.5. So it's like they can't do much worse than they did last year, right? So
yeah,
with Gaudreau coming to Columbus, why not? If it's basically the same as it was last year, then I think I'm going to go with the over on that, and it's minus 125. And slated for around 39 wins. Jesse, I know you weren't really too hot on this one because when we were chatting a little bit earlier before, I think you said that you would probably do the under if it was the Blue Jackets.
Who, me? No. I was the over.
Oh yeah, do you like him on the over? Okay,
I like him on the over.
Sure.
I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. They have no reason to do shittier than last year.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it basically is what it is from last year. So again, we'll take the Blue Jackets on the over 79.5 is where it's at. That's minus 125 available on ScoreBet. Compared to last year, 81 points. So pretty much on par for what to expect this year. So hopefully they hit the over. Moving on over Central Division. Jesse, start us off here. Talk to us about the Blues. Right. This is looking a little bit like the Penguins. Is this it now for the Blues as well? Like, are we going to start to see the decline? I believe we were chatting about this when we were wasted up at the cottage. And,
yeah, I don't know. This one may be in my heart too, guys. I don't know where this love for the Blues has come from. It just kind of appeared out of nowhere. Maybe because they have the same color as the Leafs. I don't know. But
it's blue.
But yeah, I'm going the over on the Blues.
Oh, right. Yep. Doing the over. Yeah. Sorry. I was comparing this to the Penguins because we were chatting about, like, is this it for the Blues? Like, the Blues always seem to be doing well and well enough to get into the playoffs and, you know, at least give the first round contenders a run for their money. And, you know, especially since they won a few years back, everyone's been kind of expecting them to decline a little bit. But what are your thoughts on that? Why do we like the over?
I don't know. They're still a solid team. Like, they're pretty much. I'm gonna go the opposite of what I said about Sid and his guys, but they got a solid first two lines, and it all depends though. It all depends on Binnington. If he's hot, if he's not, I could see him bouncing back for one more year. But I know again, this is all in my heart.
Well, they picked up, they picked up Grease and got rid of Husso, who I really did like behind the net as well. Perron is now gone as well, so that's one of the OGs there. They really didn't get much better or much worse. I mean, they lost Bozak as well. I don't know. I guess they're gut feeling for you.
They've always been playing well together, and they're just going to keep it up.
Yep. All right.
Less injuries than the Penguins. That's all.
Well, if you look at it here, they're saying that the Vegas has them at 96.5 points. Last year, they definitely overachieved, and they hit 109. So Vegas at least thinks that they're going to come back down a little bit to earth here. Even odds. So double up your money if you're placing the over on that. And so that will be in and around 48 wins.
Well, maybe I will.
Maybe you will.
Maybe I will.
Yeah,
put your money where your mouth is. That's the name of the game here. So yeah, let's go with the Blues over then. 96.5 on the even odds there, available on ScoreBet as well, compared to last year, 109. Birdman, talk to us about the Wild. Talk to us about the Wild. I like this one a lot.
I believe I chose the over, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you look at last year, I mean, I don't think anyone really pegged them to do as well as they did. And they finished with 113 points. Guys, I think we might have an MVP candidate on this team. And I'm so excited to watch them, dude. Plus, they're going to be in cap hell after this year. So this is kind of like, I wouldn't say like a last run, but they're going to have to make some moves after this year if they want to keep people and to stay under the cap. So I think there's going to be this extra incentive to push. And I like the makeup of this team. They crushed it last year, and they're only sitting at 101.5, which is fairly low to me considering how they performed last year. And I don't think it's a case of coming down to earth as some people say, but
sure.
I don't know. I'm just high on them. I think they play an exciting brand of hockey. It's fast paced, and that's where the league's at right now. I don't know. I'm amped on them. I think they're going to be great.
I mean, they did lose a few notables as well. Fiala's gone and Talbot as well. So do you think that's why maybe that they've dropped a little bit when it comes to Vegas?
Who's their other goalie? With Fleury.
Gustafson.
Didn't they pick?
And
They got Fleury,
Gustafson.
but didn't they get Fleury at the
deadline? That's right. Yeah, from Chicago.
So I mean,
yeah,
I'm pretty. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, you're right. You know what? 101 is a bit low, especially from what they achieved last year. The over is tipping in the favor of the over on -125 there. So looking at it around 50 wins as well. 101.5 for the Minnesota Wild that we're going to smash that over for. And then for my central pick, I'm going aggressive with the under here on the Blackhawks. Just a tire fire right now. Not looking too hot. I mean, when you get rid of the cat, Dinky Cat and Doc, and then also, I mean, like Patrick Kane, like he's gonna be gone. He's going to be gone soon. They were sellers this offseason. They're going to continue to ship, especially towards the deadline. Not a whole lot going on over here. They are at 66.5, which, you know what, I think is kind of high because they were at 68 last year. So, I mean, they
sold the whole team. Like there's no way they're better than last year.
There's no way. Yeah. And then like you had that's when you had these players last year. So for them to only drop 1 point, 66.5, let's go on the under. They're slated to have it around 33 wins. That's being optimistic, I think.
They might be worse than the Coyotes next year.
I think they're gonna be the worst team.
They could be.
I think they're gonna take that spot.
The worst record. I mean, like they're down there with the Coyotes, with the Sabres. Even I don't know. I think the Sabres might actually be even better. So -115 are the odds that ScoreBet has for us. We're gonna take the under. I hit a couple overs for the last couple, so I'm gonna switch it up to the under here and take under 66.5. And again, only one off from last year, and that's available over on ScoreBet.
Beauty.
Moving along, final division, Pacific. Going with Pacific. Jesse, I know you got a soft spot for the Golden Knights, so talk to us about why you're going to go with the under this time.
Man, I jumped on that bandwagon before they made the playoffs, way before.
Yeah,
they had a great first year, but they are in salary cap hell.
Yeah,
they're screwed this year. Like they lost Pacioretty and Dadonov. Like those were two pretty big players. Like even though Pacioretty didn't get to play all of that much, but they replaced him with Philly Cheeseburger Kessel, and and which I'm not hating him. I'm not hating on Kessel at all. I'm just thinking he's just floating around right now. He does his job. I really think he's actually a really good player, but it's not going to fill those holes.
No. I don't mind Aiden Hill as well as a backup goalie to Leonard as well, but yeah.
I don't think Leonard's playing,
let's talk about Leonard not even playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's right. He's not the whole year, is he not?
Oh
yeah, he's done. He's done for the season.
Yeah, I just forgot.
Well, he's gonna remain undefeated this year, so that's good.
There you go. What's the Vegas odds on that? So I guess looking over at the points total, we're looking at 97.5 for the.
Are you hammering the under on that?
I'm hammering the under.
He's going under on that.
Dude.
Under.
Easy.
Last year they're at 94. So 97.5. That looks a little steep, don't you think?
Also, I know a lot of sportsbooks have Phil Kessel getting around 16 goals, 16.5, I think. You hammer that over. Playing with Jack Eichel, come on, man, and Mark Stone.
Yeah,
I think that's easy. You hammer that over. 16? That's nothing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I would definitely hammer that as well. 97.5 is, I feel like that's also pretty high. They're actually, they're favoring the under a little bit more here at -120 on those odds. So yeah, you're going with the under. That right, Jesse?
That's right.
All right. Giddy up. Birdman. talk to us about the Canucks. We're both kind of high on the Canucks here, and definitely finished off the season pretty strong last year, and hopefully having that carry over this year.
Yeah, you have a coaching change, someone that actually understands the makeup of the team and is offensive minded. We all know Bruce Boudreau's style. All those teams are high flying, high scoring, and that suits that team. I think you see Pedersen have a bounce back year.
Yes.
Brock Besser, he stays healthy, he's going to perform. Yeah, they went on a heater last year, right at the end, and I think if you don't have that,
they were close to making the playoffs.
I think they missed it by a couple points.
Yeah,
like it came right down to the end. I think if you skip that first half, that abysmal first half that they had, I mean, you're looking at a playoff team, in my opinion. And they've got Thatcher Demko in net. He's one of the best goalies in the league.
He's incredible.
They're slated for 93.5. And what did they finish with last year? 92. I mean, boys, if you take away those first couple months of just straight losing, I think that's an easy over.
Yeah, I mean,
even if you improve by like 10 points, right? I don't think that's too hard to do.
No, I'm pretty shocked to see that it's slated at 93.5. Just 1 point up more than last year. I mean, they did lose Halak, but I think that'll be fine. They picked up Mikheyev as well. I think it's a good call to go with them. Especially if they can stay healthy. Brock Besser, you want him to stay healthy, obviously. And then JT Miller, whatever his name is. He's obviously it's looking good. Pedersen, I do definitely like to have a bounce back year as well, especially with this new coaching change. So I love that over. So let's hit that at 93.5 on the over. It looks like they're trying to tip towards the under on that, but you get better odds if you're going with the over. So we're going minus 105 again on ScoreBet.
Beauty.
I might double down on that one too.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a real good one. I decided to go with the Ducks. I decided to go Anaheim, and you know what? It's kind of fun. They're it's neat. Yeah, they're slated at 79.5 points. In and around 39 wins. Last year, they were at 76. So I'm going to go with them on the over, minus 120. Getzlaf retiring. But then you pick up Klingberg and you pick up Strome. Like, I don't know. I kind of like it. I still think that they're obviously in a rebuild. And for them to be out of a rebuild, it could be a couple of years. But this is kind of trending in the right direction. I just think 79.5 is kind of low. So, I definitely like some of those offseason changes that they've made. And the scales are tipping more in favor of that over. So at minus 120, I don't know. Jesse, do you like this? Both of you.
I like it as long as whatever happened to Zegras this week isn't going to affect him.
Right.
He got destroyed.
It's they haven't released anything from my knowledge, but he's going to be a big part of their team. So as long as he's healthy, I think you're on the right on that one.
Yeah, I mean, they also dropped Milano as well.
I was gonna say that's weird.
I really liked him, but yeah, man, they're young. They look fun. I think the rebuild is here. They're in the midst of it, and I think 79.5 is very much attainable. So I'm going to hit the over on that minus 120 compared to last year 76. So not too much of a difference. I definitely like the over, and that's going to do it. It's going to do it for all of our picks here, for our picks, and that will lead us into the Bing Bang Bang pick and roll, brought to you by BetStamp, where we use the BetStamp app to find the best odds out there. Make sure you visit betstamp.app/onboarding and use promo code DB2 to find all of those sweet sign-up bonuses and open up yourself a score bet sportsbook, so you can take advantage of all of those sweet sign-up bonuses. And of course, by Yup Beer, visit yupbeer.com to find a location near you. I usually have a big old gulp and a chug right now, but giving my liver a break this week. So kicking things off, Jesse's picks. We're going to go with the Senators over 85.5. He's also taking the Penguins under 101.5 and the Blues over 96.5, followed by the Golden Knights at 97.5 on the under. Birdman is going with the Panthers under of 105.5, Devils under 88.5, Wild over 101.5, and the Vancouver Canucks over 93.5. And then Jishalisha Bish going Toronto Maple Leafs 107.5 on the over, Blue Jackets over 79.5, Blackhawks under 66.5, and Ducks over 79.5. Bango, bango, bongo. Tie that with a bow, and that is our NHL preview special for the year. We'll definitely circle back and take a look at some of these and see where they are kind of trajectory, kind of heading in which direction, which way they're trending. And then we'll be able to check back in as well. And be sure to check us out next week as well, as we're going to be doing the same thing, but for the NBA as well, as we get ready for the start of the NBA season. Joosten, Jesse, buddy, thanks again for jumping on, talking a little bit of puck before the season here. And yeah, man, always great to have you on.
Always loving it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. For Josh, Elijah, Birdman, and Jesse as well, have yourselves a great week. And we'll see you next week. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, boys.